Week 5 of the NFL season is over, and not gonna lie, I enjoyed this week for the most part. Pretty much loved everything about this week besides one thing, and I'm pretty sure you guys know what that is, and we'll get into that as the video goes on. But let's get to talking about these games, starting with the Thursday night football game, Rams at Seahawks. So in my prediction video for the week, I said there is no way Rams and Seahawks is topping the one from the previous week, which was Packers and Eagles, because that game was really good. But Rams and Seahawks topped Packers and Eagles. I thought this was a very good game, and the Seahawks ended up coming out on top. They won by 1 point. And I just want to say this, man. That throw by Russell Wilson and the catch by Lockett, that was a thing of beauty. Great catch. Crazy throw. I don't know how in the world Russell Wilson made that throw. I honestly thought he was throwing it away, but God, I think this season Russell Wilson is a top 2 MVP candidate. Like, he's just balling out. So far, I think Russell is the best quarterback in the NFL this season. Like, damn, dude, like, that was beautiful. I mean, the Rams, well, they've dropped 2 in a row. Like I said, like, I think the Rams, I don't know, man. I'm not really liking the Rams this season, and I've said it before in other videos. Like, I don't know. The Niners are, 4-0, and then the Seahawks are 4-1. The Rams might be on the outside looking in here in a few weeks. But let's move on to the next game. Okay, this is part of the reason why I loved this week. Falcons at Texans. The Texans won 53-32. The Texans finally played up to their potential, and they blew out an inferior team. That's what the Texans are supposed to do. They're playing a bad team like Carolina, like Jacksonville. They're supposed to blow them out, and as a Texans fan, that made me really, really happy. Now, next game, Patriots at Redskins. Patriots won this one 33-7. Patriots go to 5-0. Redskins go to 0-5. The Redskins fired Jay Gruden, and it's about time, dude. Jay Gruden, I don't like him. Like, okay, look, I didn't think he was that great of a head coach to begin with. But then it comes out that Jay Gruden doesn't like Dwayne Haskins. He didn't like Dwayne Haskins. He thinks Dwayne Haskins isn't very smart. He don't think Dwayne Haskins is ready. Like, what? Like, come on, bro. Really? Dwayne Haskins, in my opinion, was the best quarterback of the draft class. I thought he was better than Daniel Jones. I thought he was better than Kyler Murray. I just straight up thought he was the best quarterback in the draft. The guy is accurate, he's smart, and I think he's a leader. Went to Ohio State, he's a winner. I don't know what the hell Jay Gruden is talking about. I didn't like him, but thank God he's fired, because he was trash. But unfortunately, in Washington, if you're a Redskins fan, I'm pretty sure you know, when it comes to the Redskins, it's not a coaching problem. Well, Gruden was one of the problems. It's not just a coaching problem. It's like a whole ownership and GM issue going on over there in Washington. So getting rid of John Gruden, it ain't going to do much until you get rid of everyone else, So, yeah. And the Patriots, 5-0. Easy schedule. What do you expect? Next game, Bills at Titans. The Bills won this game 14-7. I knew this game was going to be a hard-fought defensive battle, but I thought the Titans were going to come out on top. But actually, the Bills are the ones that ended up winning this game. And man, the Bills at the moment, they're 4-1. I think the Bills can legitimately sneak into the playoffs. In fact, I think the Bills, if they had a good quarterback, they'd be a very dangerous team that would be capable of upsetting anyone in the playoffs. But unfortunately for the Bills, they gotta deal with Josh Allen, who, yeah, he's not very good. So I can see the Bills making the playoffs, but I can't really see them making anything happen once they get into the playoffs because of their quarterback. But that defense is nasty. Now for the Titans. They fought a 2-3. They're currently tied for third place / last place in their division. I don't know, man. Like, the Titans are way too inconsistent. One week they look good, the next week they look terrible. Like, yeah, I don't think the Titans are gonna do much this season. Next game, Ravens at Steelers. The Ravens won this one in overtime, 26-23. Justin Tucker kicked a game-winning field goal after Juju fumbled in overtime. So, yeah, this game, like, I didn't really think much of it. I mean, to begin with, honestly, I wasn't ever really high on the Ravens this season. So the fact that the Ravens and Steelers had a close game, despite the Steelers playing their backup quarterback, and then their backup quarterback got concussed, so his backup came in. So the Steelers were playing with a third-string quarterback, and the Ravens barely won in overtime. Like I said, I don't think the Ravens are this amazing team. I don't think Lamar Jackson's all that. Yes, he had a great week 1 and week 2, but look who he was playing, you know? I don't think the Ravens are all that, but honestly, I still think they're going to win their division because someone has to win it. And obviously, Pittsburgh got 1-4 with a backup quarterback. They're not going to do it. The Browns, we'll talk about them later, and the Bengals, well, they're the Bengals. So someone has to win the AFC North, and it'll probably be the Ravens. Now, as for the Steelers, like I said last week, man, I thought trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick was a huge mistake, a first-round pick for Minkah Fitzpatrick. That pick is looking like it's going to be a top 8 pick. Steelers are currently 1-4. Things don't look like they're going to get better at all. Next game, Jets at Eagles. The Eagles destroyed the Jets. They got 10 sacks on the Jets, and yeah, Jets never really stood a chance. They were without Sam Darnold, so honestly, you can't expect the backup quarterback to really do much against the Eagles. And especially when you consider that Sam Darnold took all the first-team reps all week, and then they named the backup quarterback the starter for the game. Like, that's just bad coaching by Adam Gase, in my opinion, and that's why the Jets are 0-4. Eagles go to 3-2. You know, kind of sitting pretty there. They're tied for first place in their division with the Cowboys at the moment. So, yeah, good for them. Next game. Okay, look. I am pissed off about this game. Bears at Raiders. Well, Bears versus Raiders in London. And that is the reason why I'm pissed off. These teams played in London. Why in the world did they not schedule this game for like 9 a.m. how they usually do? I think every London game should be at 9 a.m. This is me. I wake up like at 8 a.m. on Sundays. And, you know, just chill for a bit. Maybe eat breakfast. And then wait like a whole 2 to 3 hours for the 12 p.m. games to start. And I hate that. yes, I like watching the pregame shows, but, I get kind of anxious waiting for the Texans to play at 12. I start getting nervous, and I hate it. I hate it. You know what gets my mind off of that? Watching football. So, if a game is scheduled in London, I think it should be a 9 a.m. game every single time. And this would have been a good one to televise nationally. The Raiders beat the Bears 24-21. I don't think anyone expected this. Honestly, I didn't expect this, but the Raiders, they got up 17-0. They were beating the Bears. The Bears roared back, but then the Raiders ended up winning the game at the end. And honestly, I think if Mitchell Trubisky plays this game, this game's not even close. I think the Raiders would have destroyed the Bears if Trubisky played. I trust Chase Daniels more than I trust Trubisky. But the Raiders, man, they're currently 3-2. I guess you could say they're a surprise team in the NFL right now, because I certainly didn't think they'd be 3-2 at this point. And next week they got a bye week, so yeah, they have a little chance to rest, recoup, and get ready for the rest of the season. But the Raiders, man, surprise team. Bears, 3-2, kind of where I expected them to be. I didn't think they'd lose to the Raiders, though, so yeah. Next game, Vikings at Giants. Vikings won 28-10. I mean, what can I say? Vikings have a good defense. They made Daniel Jones look like a rookie. Yeah, Dalvin Cook did some things for Minnesota, and Kirk Cousins played better than he's been playing. That's pretty much all I can say about this game. Not much to say. Next game, though, Buccaneers at Saints. Saints won this one 31-24. Man, I'm going to say one thing first. Marshawn Lattimore shut down Mike Evans. 0 receptions. Mike Evans didn't have a single catch. How do I know that? Mike Evans is on my fantasy team. That kind of sucked. I still won this week, but yeah, Mike Evans got shut down by Marshawn Lattimore. Teddy Bridgewater had a really, really good game. Really good. Bridgewater actually looks like a good quarterback. I didn't like Bridgewater coming out of college. Didn't like Bridgewater when he was in Minnesota. He kind of played like Jacoby Brissett is playing right now in Minnesota, so not really anything special. But with the Saints, Brissett looks more than just a game manager. He actually looks like a guy who can take over after Breeze is done. If Breeze is ever done. I hope Breeze is never done. I like Breeze. But, yeah, Bridgewater looks good. The Buccaneers, they fought a 2-3, but I like the Buccaneers. I like Bruce Arians, and I like what he's doing with Jameis Winston. We'll see how things turn out long term this season, but so far, I do like the Buccaneers, and you already know, I love the Saints. Next game, Cardinals versus Bengals. Cardinals win 26-23. Cardinals get their first win of the season. The Cardinals head coach gets his first career win. The Bengals are 0-5. They're a mess. Yeah, not much else to say about this game. Next game, Jaguars at Panthers. Panthers win this one 34-27. Okay. Remember earlier in the video when I said Russell Wilson is a top 2 MVP candidate? You know why I said top 2? Because I think it's between Russell Wilson and Christian McCaffrey. The Panthers, they've won 3 games in a row against the Cardinals, Texans, and now Jaguars. Christian McCaffrey has led the way in each and every single way possible. Yeah, they have Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen's he has 5 touchdowns to 0 interceptions or whatever. He ain't doing anything. This team is straight up getting carried by Christian McCaffrey. Do you guys remember in 2012 when Adrian Peterson won MVP? He completely carried that Vikings team. He carried them on his back. That is what Christian McCaffrey is doing. And honestly, I think McCaffrey's probably having a better season than that Adrian Peterson MVP season. Call me crazy, but if the Panthers make the playoffs, McCaffrey has got to be the MVP. This guy is doing everything for them. I mean, they got a good defense, but come on. Offensively, they got a backup quarterback that's not very good. McCaffrey is their team. I think he'll win MVP this year. Now, as for the Jaguars, well, they're currently at 2-3, and they're currently dealing with some Jalen Ramsey drama. If you know what I'm talking about, after the 12 p.m. games ended on Sunday, the Texans won, Jaguars lost. Deshaun Watson posted a picture on Instagram with Jalen Ramsey. So that's right, Jalen Ramsey was in Houston celebrating Deshaun Watson's win instead of being with the Jaguars in Carolina. Yeah, Ramsey's clearly trying to, just piss the Jaguars off, so they trade him. I think the Jaguars should just trade him, honestly. There's no point of having a player that doesn't want to play for you. Now, obviously, I'm not saying trade him to the Texans because, one, the Texans don't have, the assets to trade for Ramsey. And two, the Jaguars would never trade Ramsey to a divisional opponent. So, yeah. But other than that, this game was a pretty good one. Pretty close game, like I said, 34-27, one possession game. Panthers were able to see that they're at the end, though. Brian Burns, though, as well. Got to talk about. He might be Defensive Rookie of the Year. So, yeah. Next game. Broncos at Chargers. Broncos beat the Chargers 20-13. Have no idea how they did it, but the Broncos did it. They got their first win of the season. I didn't get a single chance to watch this game. I had no idea what was even going on in this game. I do know that, I believe Desmond King had a punt return in this game, so I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, the Broncos get their first win of the season. Chargers fall to 2-3. Not exactly where the Chargers want to be right now, They're a playoff team from a year ago, and this year they should be a playoff team, but here they are 5 weeks into the season with 3 losses already. 1 to the Lions, 1 to the Texans, who's going to be a team that's also going to be in the playoffs. So they already have a loss to a playoff team, and then a loss to the Broncos, their divisional opponent. So not that good of a start to the season for the Chargers, in my opinion. Now the next game, Packers at Cowboys. Packers won this game 34-24, and the Packers just completely went in there into Jerry World and dominated the Cowboys. Aaron had a great game. And when I say Aaron had a great game, and I'm talking about the Packers, usually you think about Aaron Rodgers. But Rodgers didn't really do much. It was all Aaron Jones. He had 4 rushing touchdowns against the Cowboys. He completely dominated the Cowboys. I thought Ezekiel Elliott was going to run all over the Packers, But it turned out it was the other way around. Aaron Jones ran all over the Cowboys. Now, I know the score says 34-24, but the Cowboys got a few garbage time points, so this game really wasn't all that close. The Packers, they dominated it from start to finish. I think at one point they were up like 21-0, maybe even 24-0, honestly. Like, Packers just went in there and dominated. Dak Prescott looked like Dak Prescott, not that good. And you know, something I find crazy is the Packers. Like, if I went back in time and told you guys 2 years ago, yeah, you know, Aaron Rodgers, he's going to get carried by a dominant defense and a good run game, people would have laughed at that, because at that time, the Packers were all Aaron Rodgers putting that team on his back and, yeah, just doing whatever he had to do to win. But now Rodgers ain't got to do much. He just got to show up, hand the ball off, and make sure he don't turn the ball over. That's pretty much what Rodgers does now. He's a game manager. Of course, I'm pretty sure if it came down to it, Aaron Rodgers would easily tear up anyone, but he doesn't have to. You don't have to do it. And because of it, the Packers are now 4-1. They have a 1-game lead on the division. Well, technically 1.5 game lead, because they did beat Minnesota and Chicago, so they got a 1.5 game lead on the division. So things are looking good for the Packers. And the Cowboys, they're 3-2, tied with the Eagles for the division. And the Cowboys, they looked good the first 3 weeks when we were playing easy teams, but now in back-to-back weeks playing 2 playoff contenders from the NFC, yeah, they don't look too good. Next game. This one pissed me off. Colts at Chiefs. The Colts got an upset. They beat the Chiefs 19-13. Now, this win isn't all that impressive in my opinion. I already see Colts fans all over Twitter. I see them everywhere. I see the media hyping up these Colts. Oh my god, these Colts are amazing. They're the best team ever. Watch out for the Colts. They went in there and did the impossible and held Pat Mahomes to 13 points. Jesus Christ. If any other team would have done that, you know what the narrative would have been? Oh, you know, Patrick Mahomes was on one leg. You know, they would have told the truth. Patrick Mahomes, he had an injured ankle. It was already injured from week 1, but then he gets sacked, and it gets hurt even more. And then one of his linemen steps on it, and he gets hurt even more. Patrick Mahomes in this game, for the most of this game, he was limping around, couldn't move, and he was throwing ducks because he was hurt. He just wasn't himself. But everyone seems to think, oh my god, the Colts figured out. The Chiefs, the Colts are this dominant team, blah, 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 blah. No! Patrick Mahomes was missing Tyreek Hill. He was missing Sammy Watkins. He was missing his lineman, Eric Fisher. One of his linemen exited the game. And he was on one leg. Colts didn't do anything. The Chiefs themselves, they lost due to injuries. Their star quarterback was walking around on one leg. Not impressive. If Patrick Mahomes wasn't dealing with that ankle injury, the Chiefs would have won like 50-10. The Colts, not good. Not an impressive win. Next game. Browns at Niners. Niners won this one 31-3. I mean, the Browns, they suck. Same old Browns. Baker Mayfield, not who we thought he was. I mean, let me just say this about Baker. I thought Baker Mayfield was above average. I thought he was maybe even good. Not great, good. But so far this season, Baker Mayfield is terrible. Garbage. probably even worse than Josh Allen. He's bad. He's Mitchell Trubisky. He's Blake Bortles. He's terrible. Part of it is coaching. I don't think Freddie Kitchens is a very good coach. Like, how in the world do you have Odell Beckham, Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry, David Njoku, and only put up 3 points? Yeah. I don't think Baker Mayfield's it. I don't think Freddie Kitchens is it. It's time to hit the reset button, Cleveland, again, because you suck. And now look, I know that the next 2 weeks, the Browns play the Seahawks and Patriots. They're going to be 2-5. But after that, it's a pretty manageable schedule. So maybe the Browns can make something happen towards the end of their schedule. Because like I said earlier with the Ravens, someone has to win this division. Someone has to win it. But the Browns 2-3 looking terrible. The Niners looking very impressive, man. Matt Breida looks great. I mean, the Niners paid a lot of money for Coleman and McKinnon. But Matt Breida is their best running back. I don't get the Niners, man. But regardless of Coleman and Breida, they did great. Jimmy Garoppolo still doesn't look that good, but still, they're winning with the run game. They're winning with their defense. Niners are 4-0, man. Impressive. Like the way the Niners are looking. And I think they might be able to do something. In my prediction video for the season, I had the Niners being a playoff team. And so far, they're on track to being a playoff team. 4-0 is a very good start. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys for today. Those are my thoughts on Week 5 of the NFL season. Comment down below your own thoughts on Week 5 for the NFL season. And be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.